Hello, everybody, and welcome to a fresh start, a new adventure in the story of Durabel Boulderbane and Quinn Hightopple. We're beginning our new adventure in this series, where myself and my wife Emily, say hello, Emily.
Hello.
Play some D&D. We recently, as in like a few weeks ago, finished the Dragon of Icespire Peak adventure from the D&D Essentials kit, and by popular demand we are moving on to the follow-up adventures that are available on D&D Beyond. So we're just going to get stuck into that right away with the kind of introductory part of that quest line, but as always, I don't know if you want to introduce yourself, Emily.
Hi.
Well done.
My name is Emily, aka Abros on Twitter. You can find me there doing art. If you want some art, I'm totally open for commissions.
Nice plug. Very smooth.
Yeah, thanks.
Good job. Okay. Yeah, so
At least I said more than just hi.
It's very true. Yeah, so we do this. We stream on Twitch every Tuesday, and if you're not watching this on Twitch on a Tuesday, well, I mean, right now that doesn't count because we had to move this stream to Thursday. But I was kind of pretending that hadn't been a thing to make it more concise for the YouTube VOD, which we post up the week after. But I've already lost my chain of thought, kind of talked myself around in circles. In a normal situation, we stream on Tuesdays over on Twitch. So if you're interested, please hit that follow button and support us. We've been doing this for a while and we really enjoy it. And it would be nice to get some more eyeballs on this stream. If not, if you're joining us on YouTube, you are just as welcome. Thank you very much and you feel free to subscribe, like the video, and any efforts that are made to help the croverload empire achieve glory. Well, that would be bloody brilliant. So it's very, very warm. So we're gonna try and no, it's not. I'm gonna try not to make it a long one today. We're gonna just kind of get things set up, get the ball rolling, and move forward. So for anyone who's kind of hopping on, I think we're gonna just have some time to kind of describe the characters and talk a little bit about what happened in the previous campaign or adventure, get people up to speed and see where we're at. So I have written some kind of like what's the word when you just read something out loud? Well, I've said read it out loud now. So I've written some read aloud text that I'm going to go through.
Some it is prompts.
Yeah, it is kind of a lot. I don't know why my brain wants to say pro rata, but that isn't the word. Verbatim. Whatever. So yeah, I've written some stuff. I'm a bit hyper. I don't know whether that's a good or a bad thing when I'm about to go into DMing. Ooh, be afraid. But yeah, I've written out a lot of stuff, so bear with me, Emily. It might get a bit boring, but let's move over to the new game layout, which I'm very pleased with. It's so shiny. And let us begin. Okay. So
I need to post that up on Twitter later.
Yes, you do. It has been a few months since Durabel Boulderbane, with the assistance of her death-defying companion Quinn Hightopple, successfully dispatched the White Dragon Cryovane. In doing so, she not only put an end to the dragon's icy reign, but also the growing corruption of her uncle Brathus and his plans to use its body to conquer the entire Sword Coast. What's Durabel been up to over the past couple of months since she did that? And there was a big party in Phandalin, and she kind of disappeared off into the mist, as it were.
She probably spent some time helping around. She probably spent some time in Phandalin helping around a little bit more, then she probably would have made a point to make her way to Falcon's Place to help wherever she could with the rebuilding. And then, yeah, she probably just kind of was just like, when the going felt right, she just hit the road and they were on their way.
Cool. So yeah, just kind of spent some time around, maybe popped in, visited. Yeah, that's fair enough. That actually works.
Make sure there are no lingering things.
That works quite well, because I think at some point while you were helping out in Phandalin, you would have received word from your twin brother Duradon that he's moved on from mining at the Mountains Toe gold mine and is now helping a group of settlers from Neverwinter in the town of Leilon, which isn't too far away. Your knowledge of the settlement is that it's been destroyed and rebuilt many times over its long and storied history, and it's currently in an early stage of being rebuilt again. In the letter that he sent you, he says that he's happy with what he's doing, but he's concerned about mysterious figures that he's seen in the southern distance towards a swamp called the Mere of Dead Men. And it was a very kind of throwaway comment that he made in the letter, but it's kind of set the hairs on the back of your neck up, and you fear that trouble is brewing, and you're never wrong. So with that in mind, you've decided to pay him a visit. So
yeah, well, I mean, my brother. I mean, I come from a family of. Our family seems very much like don't really ask for help, sort of thing. So, I mean, Durabel doesn't really ask for help.
Yeah,
so
I think that
he very much like sees it and is like, right, he's asking for help.
Yeah, and he's asking for help in a very like roundabout way. He's just saying, "Oh yeah, I saw these figures. That's a bit worrying, but
it's a bit weird.
It's no big deal. It's no were rats in the mine." So, but yeah, so you made that decision, and you've, following on from your latest visit to Phandalin to see how they were doing, you've come down the Tribor Trail and making your way towards the high road, which leads down towards Leilon. So I think at this point, do you want to reintroduce Durabel and just kind of describe what she's like, what she looks like? I mean, I know we've got the visual on the stream layout, but is there any more details that you can give us? Maybe give us a bit of a rundown of her background and how she came to this point.
Well, you've already made a point of pointing out that she's always right. So yeah, she's very headstrong. She comes from a pretty headstrong family, but she's definitely like, when she's got something in her head and she knows she's right about it, she's very much like it's like pushing a boulder, like I am right, and she doesn't rub it in your face when you're wrong, but she is very much just like, thank you, I knew I was right, sort of thing. But I mean, despite that, she's like, she cares a lot about like the life of people. In the prior game, she had a couple of arguments, or not even arguments, she scolded people when they act about lives of other people. She told the mayor off at one point. She very much values the lives of people, and like, she understands that people die, like, you know, shit happens, people die, and that sucks, but she's very much like, if the death can be prevented, then, you know, I should do something about it. And she gets a little bit exasperated with people, but she's always she like maybe gets frustrated and kind of is like, ugh, but she does it. Like, she goes in and she, like, without even, she might not even ask like for payment. She'll just be like, wait, what do you need? Okay, whatever.
Yeah, and it's that,
to the point, I guess.
Yeah, and it's that attitude that ultimately led her to, you know, achieve the things that she achieved. Speaking of
the attitude that got her kicked out of town.
Yes, do you want to talk about that real quick?
Basically, she had discovered that her uncle Brathis was doing some shady shit back in their hometown, and he found out that she found out, and basically spun it all to be on her. So basically turned the whole town, turned her whole family against her, and got her exiled. And in the end, she was right. So yeah, she left frustrated, but even though she was away from home, she managed to fix it, and she kind of feels good about the thought that if she ever goes home, you know, she's gonna get some apologies from her family.
Yeah, from what you've heard from kind of like word from Phandalin, because Verbolder is kind of on the other side of the mountains, so
Yeah.
You don't hear about much, but from what you've heard recently, it does seem like the atmosphere in Verbolder has shifted very much since Brathus was dispatched. His kind of entire operation got uprooted and discovered, and it's all been excised. Anyone that was involved has been kicked out pretty much, and now the two, because Verbolder was a community of 3 families working together, and kind of Brathus and his ilk have been exiled, as it were. You may have also recently heard about maybe a month ago that a couple of them started making trouble in Phandalin, but they have since moved on as well.
Good.
And you haven't really heard anything of Brathus and his kids. Well, obviously not Brathus because he's dead, but his like family since that all happened.
And I don't imagine I've seen what's his face since he decided to go. I can't remember his name off the top of my head. I feel bad. Yeah,
Gregor. Or Grigor. I can't remember.
Grigor, I think, yeah.
But no, you haven't seen him at all. The last you saw him was after he got you to Ice Spire Keep, and he was like, right, I'm off. I'm just going to go traveling.
When we parted ways, yeah.
Yeah, so you've not seen nor heard from him at all. But you have in good faith that he's okay.
Yeah.
Seems like out of all of Brathus's kids, he was the one that turned out all right.
Yep.
As much as he could be, anyway.
Yeah.
Okay. So on your journey, you are joined by 2 companions. One of which is a lot louder than the other, and yeah, there's a small man with kind of ruffled brown hair. He's got a gap in his teeth that's a bit bigger than Durabel's, but that's probably because of blunt force trauma than just natural growth. And he's got a cocky smile, and throughout this whole time that you've been going from Phandalin to Leilon, you're not even halfway there yet, and he's already complaining. It's like, Belle.
I'm not even surprised. What?
Belle, how far are we going to go to this place? Where are we?
Oh my god.
Where are we even going?
We're going to a town called Leilon.
That place is a shitty. There's nothing there.
We've got to go there just because my brother said some weird things, so we're just gonna go check it out, okay? God, you're always like this. We're on the road for more than 10 minutes. You get if you're on the road for more than 10 minutes, you start whinging.
Because it's boring. There's people in Phandalin and drink. Stuff to do.
Well, maybe there'll be drink in Leilon when we get there.
I don't think so. Somehow, the only thing that there'll be to drink there is swamp water.
Oh my god! Can you just chill out? We'll go back to Phandalin afterwards.
We better get paid for this.
Driving me up a wall.
if we go there, right, and Duradon hasn't got a sack of gold for us, I'm going to give him the biggest halfling hello I can muster.
I am not responsible for any retaliation he brings upon you.
You'll be no match for Quinn the Dragon Slayer. You've heard the songs they sing about me. Well, I mean, they sing them about you, but I just think I'm in there somewhere.
Well, it's more like you were the one who sings the songs about you at the tavern, and everyone sings along.
I may or may not have subtly changed the lyrics while everyone was drunk, and they just carried on because they didn't know any better. Anyway, you've also got your faithful undead steed, Lily, the skeleton horse.
With a flower crown?
She's wearing a flower crown. She's very pleased just to be out and about with you on this day. It's a sunny day. There are a couple of clouds in the sky, but nothing too crazy. And yeah, she's having a great time. Definitely more interesting than the burial pit that you found her in.
Yeah. She's just happy to be out and about and trotting around, even though we get some looks. I imagine a lot of the people in Phandalin got used to her in the time that we were there.
They all grew to really like her. Kind of after they got over the initial shock, as Barthen, the kind of like provisional that the shopkeeper says, the kids love her. It's a big hit with the kids.
Yeah.
So yeah, now from once being too afraid to allow her to stable up where he was without terrible disguises, she is now quite proudly allowed to stand front and center. Yeah, she's become a bit of an attraction. As have you, really. Like at least in the Phandalin area, you're not tales of your deeds haven't really spread to like places like Neverwinter or Waterdeep or anything like that. But you know, word's getting around. How would Dorabelle feel about that?
Probably a little bit awkward. I mean, she felt super awkward when she got back to town, and there was like a whole sing and praise and party and whatnot. She was, as much as she likes helping people, she feels very weird being such the center of high attention.
Yeah.
Like, even if it is positive, she's a bit like, ooh, you know, don't know how to deal with people. And because she's a bit like, I guess, blunt and awkward, like she just doesn't like dealing with people, but she stayed and she partied. And I guess if people like, she's probably warmed up a little bit to like, if people come in to like talk to her about it, she's probably just like, yeah, okay, whatever. Mm-hmm. Like she's probably gotten used to repeating the story a couple of times and saying hi to people, showing them dragon teeth, you know, stuff like that.
That's cool. And more often than not, that's enough, really. Cool. Okay.
She's the kind of person who'd be more than happy to just let Quinn spin the tale, even if he spins it in his own favor. She's more than that. Yeah, you deal with it.
Definitely. Yeah. That's fair. So the back and forth between you and Quinn carries on for a bit, and then as you reach the juncture of the tribal trail and the high road, so kind of where I've placed your token, as it were, on the map. Still getting used to Roll20, guys. So you have to bear with me a little bit on that, because immediately I can't move your thing. What's happened there? How have I done that? Have I put it on the wrong layer? No.
Already there's difficulties.
Oh, I haven't got the right tool selected, that's why. Oh, Cam, always selecting the wrong tool. Right, so as you get to that point, you come across an oddly shaped building. Two entrances are apparent. There's a smaller one at the northern corner, and a larger one suitable for beasts of burden and wagons near the first. And actually, I've spent all that time kind of like wrestling with Roll20 to move you there. I'm going to change maps now anyway. So let me just move the camera. Have you got Roll20 open?
I didn't know there was a Roll20 map for this.
Oh, Emily.
You didn't give me one.
Get it open, love. What do you mean didn't give you one?
You never gave me a link to this.
It's the same link.
Which link?
The
I've
one-
been using the stream to watch it.
I gave you a link for this. It's the same one that we did last week.
Oh, the one that we used for the Blood Hunt.
Yeah, the one strangely called Cam and M Play D&D, because it was going to be like a thing for all of our games.
Well, you didn't. You should have said.
Forward thinking. Well, I thought it was obvious, but I'm very good.
No,
I'm very good at assuming stuff like that.
No, well, I'm in now.
You did it. Yeah, you are. I can see you in there.
I'm waiting for the adverts to get out of the way.
Okay. Well, I will set the scene for you. I should probably move myself there as well. I've moved the camera shot over there, but not myself. Where are we?
Nice icon for Quinn.
I know. I need to change it to the new ones that you've done that are in the stream overlay. I didn't have time to do it today, so I just thought
like that he doesn't fit.
he doesn't fit in the frame. Okay, so yeah, this is the main building. You can see. I'll just reveal some more of the fog of war as well, so you can see. Where are we? Polygon reveal. Hold shift to snap. Okay, so you can also see. Boom, 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 boom. So if you look to the left slightly, you can see that's the double door that I was talking about.
Oh right, okay.
So yeah, this kind of like odd bit that seems to jut out. Although actually, I'm dumb. I'm extremely dumb. That's not the right entrance. So you're actually not there. You guys are. You guys are.
We're on the other side.
You guys are here.
Ah, okay.
Because that's the main entrance. I'm such a dingus. And then this one here is the like the service entrance, as it were. So Quinn will be like following behind you, so we'll just pop in there for the time being. And actually, you'll be a bit further back as well, because you will notice as you're getting closer, you can see two. You can see that there are two humanoid figures that have breached the smaller door and starting to make. Wait, what? Right now, both sets of doors are under attack by humanoid figures. They've already breached the smaller door and are starting to make cracks in the larger. Right, okay, I understand. You know what's great? Reading. So you can see now there's a figure here, because that door is open. So let me reveal this area. And you can also see a figure here. Just make sure that all shows on. Yeah, cool. Okay. I'll just go ahead and reveal this area as well, so you can see where you yourself are. So yeah, you can see these two humanoid figures go into town on these doors. This first one here has been breached, and the figure is working on the inner door, and this one has got cracks showing in it.
Okay. Well, we're gonna hop off of Lily. And because of the way they're acting, I'm going to rightfully assume that they do not own this building, because they would not be busting into it so hard.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go over to the breached doors where the first dude is.
Okay.
Sort of with my hand near my axe. I mean, I've got my shield on me, but like I've sort of got my hand ready to grab my axe if needed. But I'm just going to casually be like, "Did you forget your keys?"
Okay. So are you like standing in the breached doorway, like there?
Yeah.
Okay. You say that, and the figure that's like bashing at the door with like closed fists, like you can notice that they're dressed in like rags, and as you say this, they've got these like straggly like wisps of hair coming off their mostly bald scalp, and they stop for a second and they turn and look at you with dead eyes and kind of like a the jaw is kind of like slid to one side, and they're just like
Shit.
on the door. You would immediately recognize this as some manner of undead creature.
Well, I'm going to attack some manner of undead creature.
Oh, you know. Well, before you do that, we'll say that Quinn followed you a little bit. I think Quinn will follow you and be like, "Oh, what's that?
Oh, it's gross!
What's wrong with your face?" But we need to roll some initiative. Don't forget that now that Quinn is 7th level, he gets advantage on his initiative rolls.
Did you update his character sheet?
I did indeed.
Okay, I'm gonna pin it. He gets advantage on initiative.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because he's got heightened senses or something like that.
Let me just double check.
Battle Readiness is what it's called.
Where is that on the list?
It's right at the top.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna roll his first since we're on that topic.
Okay.
So that's a 13 and a 19. Well, 19 plus 2, so that's 21 for him.
21. Okay. And
then,
what did you get?
Durabel is gonna have a nice little 5.
5. Excellent. Also, Quinn fans, you will have noticed in the kind of cinematic walk up to the inn, he is now wearing plate armor, so he's nowhere near as squishy as he was beforehand. He's got an upgrade between adventures, which is always good news. So with that, then Quinn gets to go first.
He's like, "Oh, show your face," and then I think he's gonna go in with the sword.
Okay, just straight up. So he's gonna run up to this creature.
Well, I mean, he sees Durabel getting battle ready, and he's like, "Oh yeah, it's time to rumble."
It's like, no chance, I'm going in. And he kind of like does his normal thing where he like, I can imagine him like jumping on her back and like jumping over her, like sword in hand. And he misjudges it and like clips the top of his head against the door frame.
He's like, "Oh,
fuck, not again!" But then he lands next to the creature, and yeah, go ahead and roll a couple of attacks for Quinn.
Okay, so first I'm gonna roll his attacks and then I'll roll his damage.
I need
afterwards,
dice.
so.
That would be useful.
Okay, so first attack is a natural 20. That's how we're starting off.
Oh
things, I
my
guess.
god.
Okay, so I'm gonna roll the damage for that one first, actually, because it's doubled. Okay, yeah, plus 9 to hit. So
I mean, it's a crit anyway. So
I didn't say he was using it with 2 hands, so he's using it with 1 hand. Just
well, yeah, because he's got a shield equipped. So remember, we've discussed this before. We're not gonna do that. I think it was out of game, but you can't switch between one-handed and two-handed. Like if you've got a shield equipped, right, unless you put it away and get hold your sword two-handed, then you're using it two-handed or one-handed. Because it just gets far too complicated and slow otherwise.
Yeah. Well, he got 16 damage.
16 damage. Okay.
Yeah, on the first hit.
So he jumps in, and we'll say like from the momentum of that, like he bashes his head, he's like whoa, and then comes down with the sword and just like haphazardly cleaves like right down the creature's back. It kind of like unnaturally bends backwards as the attack comes in. It's just like whoa!
Is it still alive?
Yeah.
Okay, he's going in for a second. It's a 14, but it's plus 9 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
Okay, so
these things are wearing rags and they're very slow, so
10 slashing damage.
10 slashing damage. Okay,
yeah.
Let me just check something. Oh shit. So he cleaves down, and then kind of like as he sees that it's still standing, he comes back up for a secondary attack. He cuts straight through, like he cuts through its spine. Like completely bisects it, and and you even see like the gap in its like the top half of its body kind of like jumps up about an inch, and then as it does that, you see these like almost like shadowy necrotic tendrils of gore, almost as if its guts are like reaching up to grab the top half and pull it back down and reattach itself.
Oh geez,
so
that's pretty edgy.
it was dead, but thanks to its undead fortitude, it remains still undead.
And I'm sure Quinn's like, what the hell is that?
He's like, that's cheating. What does he want to do anything else, or is that his turn done?
No, he's just gonna leave it because no point in doing he's gonna hold off on doing his other attack.
Okay. So then his other attack.
Or no, not his other attack. What am I thinking? Ignore me. I'm just
okay, no worries. Okay. So as that is going on, it reaches the next turn in the turn order, and Durabel, kind of like as you're watching Quinn do this, and you watch this like undead creature reconstitute itself and kind of continue to fight, you feel this chill behind you, and you turn around to see a presence, the presence of this kind of like half ethereal ghostly creature that's got like a skull face, kind of looks similar to the zombies in that it's kind of like a vaguely humanoid figure, but it's kind of like got these like strands of like tattered fabric that are like black and smoky, kind of like flailing around, and it's got these like elongated spectral claws, and it just hisses at you and just says, "Not your business," and it's going to make an attack. If I could bring up the stat block. What's your armor class?
My armor class is 19.
That didn't matter because I got that's an 18, so that doesn't hit.
No.
Only just. So you like feel its you feel its hand like reach and phase into your body, like it reaches into your armor, and your entire body goes cold for a split second, but you instinctively move out of the way before it can do any damage. Okay, it is now the Zambo's turn. So this first Zambo, kind of now distracted by Quinn's attempt to kill it, is going to try and smack him. Oh my god. There we go. That is a 14 plus 3. That's not good enough. That is a 17.
No, it's not gonna hit.
It like goes to slam its hand down on his shoulder and just tink against his armor. And he's just like, ha ha ha, fuck off. Meanwhile, the other one is just going to continue bashing at the door, but rolls a natural 1. So it just kind of, it's just kind of like aimlessly flailing against the
undead arm.
Yeah, it takes a second to have to like reattach itself and then carry on. It's now your turn, Durabel.
Okay, I'm trying to decide how out the gate I want to be with this. I mean, he looks like a pretty tough fellow, doesn't he?
The guy behind you?
Yeah.
Yeah, he looks significantly more badass than the creatures that are attacking the doors.
Yeah, man, we're going in then. I'm going in with the Spirit Guardians.
Spirit Guardians, yeah, okay.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm doing it at 3rd level.
Spirit Guardians. Does it trigger immediately, or?
Let's see. When you cast a spell, you can be...
No. When it enters the area for the first time on a turn, starts its turn there. So it'll be at the start of its turn that it makes the save.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, you fire up the Spirit Guardian. So can you describe that for me?
the spirit guardians it's like a whirlwind of tiny spectral blue chickadees, and they're all very angry. These ones are not.
Oh, go on.
Wait, what?
No, go on, carry on.
I was gonna say these ones aren't wearing helmets though, but they are angry.
Okay. So yeah, they start like flitting around the two creatures. I think both are in range of that, so that's good. And yeah, so that's all happening. That deals radiant damage. Yeah, okay, cool. Right. Okay. Are you going to do anything else with your turn? You've got your bonus action. You said you were moving inside, didn't you? So.
I didn't actually say I was moving inside.
You're just staying put. Okay.
I'm gonna stay put.
Okay. Are you doing anything else?
No.
No. Okay. So then that
I've got Quinn's back essentially.
Cool. That moves on back to Quinn's turn.
Yeah.
So what's he gonna do?
Okay, so he is gonna hack at this dude again.
Okay, he's gonna be like, you can't. I want to see you do that trick again.
Yeah. How many times can you do that? And he's gonna go for the first swing.
Okay.
It's 18 to hit.
18 to hit. 18 to hit. No. Sorry, I was having a moment. Yeah, that definitely hits.
Okay, so that's 6 damage.
6 damage. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Once again, like Quinn stabs it in the chest and pulls the blade out, and the creature kind of goes and slams back against the door. It kind of like seems to go limp for a second, and then the flash of undeath like sparks back in its eyes, and it lurches back up again. It is refusing to die.
He's just like, that's not fair. You can't do that.
It rolled a natural 20 on its fortitude.
Oh damn. Well, Quinn's gonna go again.
Okay.
And roll a 19.
19 hits.
Which isn't that a critical? Oh no, he doesn't get.
No, is it a natural 19?
A natural 19.
Then yes, it's a critical hit.
Okay, so
I think that's the first time you've crit on a 19 since he got that ability.
Yeah, really, it's great. I know. So wow, wow. So 7 slashing damage.
Okay, so fortunately, Undead Fortitude doesn't work on critical hits. So for the purposes of this, I'm gonna say that Quinn like sweeps the leg, and the zombie's leg just kind of comes off at the knee and splatters against the wall. And then as it's kind of tumbling down, Quinn just lops its head off. And he's just like,
yeah, we'll see you do that again,
get up from that, not bad.
Dick.
Dick. Okay, so that's his turn.
His go. Yeah.
So that is one dead zombie. Let me just clicky the things. Whoop. There we go. That's one dead boy. And is he going to do anything else, or like is he going to move, or?
No, he's just going to turn around to get ready for fighting because he
sees the
Spirit Guardians fire up, and he's like, "Oh shit,
what's going on?" And yeah, he just turns around and goes like, "Oh, what's that?" Okay, so zombie is dead. The second zombie is going to continue to attack the door, and he rolled pretty good that time. So just you hear like a whoosh against the door. That dice went on the floor, and I'm just destroying everything.
Oh my god, there's so many spells.
Okay, it rolled max damage. It rolled 7 damage. So you just hear a crash as the door further down collapses off its hinges, and this zomble disappears into the building.
Okay.
I'm just doing the movement, kind of figuring out where it is. Oh, it's not that fast. So it goes to like just right there. Okay, and you hear the sound of people inside, like in response to like the slam and the collapsing of the doors. You hear a shriek.
Shit. Okay.
Okay. It is now the other creature's turn. I think
He must make a wisdom save.
I did the zombie's turn first for some reason, because I'm a dumbass. But yeah, he must make a. Is it a wisdom saving throw?
It's a wisdom save of 15.
15. He made it. That's a 17.
But
So he
still
takes half damage.
Yeah. Oh wait, what am I doing? I'm rolling the wrong die. So
Was it 3d8?
3d8, yeah. 5, 9, 11. So 5 radiant damage? Because you round down, right?
You always round down, yeah.
So
okay.
5 radiant damage.
Okay, yeah. So the little chickadees are like pecking at him and like tearing at these kind of wispy tendrils of like rags and stuff that are billowing from this shadowy figure. It's just like, ah! And it is going to attack you and not hit you. It rolled a 9.
Fuck you!
Okay, and that means it's your turn.
I am going to sacred flame him.
Okay, so that's that a wisdom save? No, it's a dex save, isn't it?
It's a dex save, yeah.
And is that 15 as well?
It is, yeah.
It got, with its bonus, it got a 17.
Damn.
So it
does nothing. It does nothing.
There's the explosion of radiant energy, and it just kind of like almost like disapparates for a second, and then back into place.
That's fine.
It just says, your magic is worthless. And it is now Quinn's turn.
I'm going to tell Quinn to run around go to the other door.
Okay. So Quinn is going to use his full movement in that case to move around that way. So he moves 25 feet. So that's going to be 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. As he gets to there, the creature here is going to get an attack of opportunity against him.
Okay.
And that is going to hit. That is a 17 plus numbers. Yeah, plus 6.
Shit, he managed to actually hit him.
He managed to hit something. Like as Quinn like tries to dart past, the creature's just like and like slashes, and its claws like pass through the back of his legs as he's running away.
Oof.
And you just kind of like see the color drain from his face for a moment. He takes. Where are we? Oof.
That sounds like a lot of dice.
He takes 18 necrotic damage.
Oof.
And he needs to make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh,
you might recognize this.
I was hoping you wouldn't say this. Constitution, you said?
Yes.
Ooh, no, it's a 9.
9. So his maximum HP is also reduced by 18.
Okay, so I need to. Do I do the temporary HP or do I override it?
You override his max HP.
Okay, max HP. So his max HP is now 34. Oof.
Yeah. So he's just like, oh, and he stumbles a little bit, but he kind of like picks himself up and keeps going. So do you want him to use his dash action to get kind of in line of sight with where the zombie was?
Yeah.
So he can't really do much else. Alternatively, he could attack the creature that just swung at him, but he's gonna.
No, he's gonna let Durabel handle it, and he's gonna go
so
going.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25. So he's there. So from there, he can see kind of into the room. So we'll reveal that. Let me just zoom out the camera a little bit so that you guys can see what's going on. So yeah, he's now got eyes on the Zambo that ran away. He's like, you're not going anywhere, son. Can you do the same trick as your friend? Okay, so that's Quinn's turn. So we now move back to the kind of spectral entity's turn, so he needs to make a wisdom save.
Yeah. Quick question: when you override the max HP, because it set the current HP down as well, is that correct as well?
Yeah. So he takes 18 damage, and his max
Yeah.
HP is reduced by the same amount. So it's not.
Oh, so
you don't get you don't
okay.
get double bubble, for example. It's just you take 18, and your HP reduces by the same. So yeah, if he's on 34 out of 34, that's correct.
No, it says he's on 16 out of 34.
Oh no, that's not correct. He should be on 34.
Okay, I will.
Yeah, because otherwise it's like double damage, and that sucks.
Well, that's why I was asking. Okay, so I'll just leave. So every time I do damage on that, I'll just do the max HP.
Just reduce his max HP. Yeah, that makes sense. Unless he's already taken damage, because then things are going to get a bit complicated.
Hairy.
But we'll figure that out if that happens. So the creature rolled a 16 on its wisdom save.
But it still takes.
It still
some
takes half
radiant
damage. Yeah.
3, 2, 5. So 11 reduced to 5 again.
5 again. Well, we're still, chipping him down.
I know, it's just annoying.
Okay.
But he's saving.
And then he's going to kind of like he sees Quinn running away, and then just like turns to look at you. And I think he you can see that like when you did the sacred flame, it's like it went to great lengths to avoid that. So it's going to it seems quite perturbed by you. So it's going to keep locked onto you.
He doesn't like my holy magic.
He can't roll to hit to save his life though. That's an 11. So no.
He can hit Quinn, but he can't hit Durable.
So now it is the Zambules' turn. That's his name now, Zambules.
Zambules.
And it's going to run. Where's it going to go? Yeah, like it's going to disappear into the shadow there.
Okay.
Okay. Can't do anything else because no targets. And then Durabel.
I am going to. Let's see. Sorry, I'm just pulling up my spells really quick. I just don't know if cantrips are gonna cut it, boys. Oh, oh wait, I'm too close to him. Shit. Can't do that. I'm going to cast because it's not concentration, so I am going to cast a spiritual weapon.
Okay. So yeah, you summon up your spiritual weapon. I should really make a token for that, really. But I will just. Where are we?
I'm just casting it at its base, which is what, second level? Yeah.
There we go. We just got it. Oh, it's a little hammer, apparently.
We'll pretend it's an axe.
And yeah, whereabouts are you placing it?
Right there is perfectly fine.
Okay.
Because I'm gonna hit him. I'm about to hit him with it.
So go ahead and roll an attack.
Okay, so. What's the plus to hit on
it's your spellcasting modifier.
15?
15 hits.
Okay, so is it 1d8 plus 4? 10 radiant damage.
Is it radiant? I thought it was force damage on spiritual weapon.
You are correct. I am wrong.
So yeah, whoosh, you hit it. So it's do you say that the spiritual weapon takes the form of an axe this time?
It looks like the ripple.
Okay, cool. So yeah, you're duplicating your weapon that's in your hand. This battle axe that's kind of been treated to be like cobalt blue in color and have like a wave down the blade edge. Yeah. Okay, cool. So that's your bonus action.
Yeah. And just because he's annoying me, I'm gonna swing my axe at him.
Okay.
Okay. Oh my god, natural 20.
I think you're cheating.
No, you can come look.
No, it's fine.
Okay,
So many, just all the crits.
Crit fishing. You could ban these dice, you know. I'm using the same ones that I was using before.
I don't believe in that.
Okay, so
although I suppose there is legitimacy sometimes, I guess.
Well, it's up to you. So 2d8 plus 5.
No, because just as easily they will screw you over. So we've had some awful games with those dice.
Yeah, 11, 16.
16 damage?
16 damage.
Okay, yeah, so you slice through the creature and it lets out this, like, we'll say that like both axes strike at the same time, and it tries to avoid one, but in trying to avoid one it gets caught by the other and that one at the same time. And the kind of magical energies inside of Ripple means it kind of like glides through this spirit with little to no trouble, and it just lets out this hiss. It's like ah, and you can see like the tattered kind of ribbons that it's made out of have been cut through even in its spiritual form, and it's kind of the shadows that create the rest of its form are almost like dripping like blood and then disappearing on the floor.
Ooh.
It didn't like that. Would you like to do anything else?
No, that's me done.
Quinn's turn.
He's gonna run in. He's gonna chase Zambules.
He's gonna chase Zambules into the building. So now I need to reveal my secrets, or at least reveal this room to y'all. Okay, so we'll come down here. So yeah, he's now got visual on the zombie, which seems to be making a beeline for the door on the south side.
Okay.
What's Quinn gonna do?
Well, he can't get any closer with his movement, so he is going to swap to his bow.
Yep.
And he's gonna pew pew.
Okay. So yeah, go ahead and roll an attack with the bow.
So first bow shot. Well, I mean he's shooting 2 arrows at the same time, but so that's a 12 plus 6, so 18 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
Okay, so that one is 5 piercing, and then second one 16 plus 6, so that 20.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah, that hits. And then 9 damage on the second one. Okay,
so yeah, both arrows into the zombie's back, and it lets out like a groan, and kind of like lurches to look in. Yeah, it's like, the party's right here. Okay, so that's Quinn's gore. So now we move back to this spectral creature that's attacking you. Maybe it'll hit you. Who knows? It is going to have a go. It kind of like looks at the spiritual weapon and looks at you in frustration, and just is going to have a crack. There we go. That is a 24 to hit.
Yeah, that's gonna hit.
So now in that kind of moment, it weaves through the two axes and gets caught by both of them. But it's doing so in like a desperate attempt to reach forward and reaches into your chest. And you feel its like long clawed fingers touch your heart. And you feel the life being drained from you. You take 17 necrotic damage. And need to make a constitution save.
I'm going to do the constitution save first.
Oh, hang on. Not 17. 20 necrotic damage.
Oh, okay. So I'm going to do the constitution check for that. And I got a 10.
Okay, that is a failure.
Okay.
So yeah, you feel the life being drained from your body.
Override max HP. Okay, so
yeah.
Oof. Okay. And then I'm assuming I'm gonna have to make. Wait, did he?
He did not. He did not save for the birds, so I will do that.
Okay.
Well.
Oh, you didn't roll for the bird.
No. 19. So he saves.
Oh shit! But he still takes 1, 7.
He's good at making his saves. He's not very good at attacking.
15. What's half of 15?
14 half, so 7.
So he takes 7
Yeah, so
radiant damage.
You can see that he's like struggling to maintain his form, but you can kind of see in this kind of like dark spectral like shifting shadow there are the two like beady eyes of undeath, and then this kind of like darker shadow that grows into a grin. It's like, join me. And yeah, that's his go. So now Zambuli's turn, who I think is just going to keep making a run for it. Or are they going to try and attack Quinn? Let me see. Can't get to Quinn, so he's just going to keep moving forward. Just keep pressing on down further into the corridor. Okay, Durabel.
Okay, I'm going to swing my spiritual weapon at this fool first. Okay, so I'm just... sorry. That's +7 to hit, so... 16 to hit?
That hits.
Sweet, so he takes... Man, I really... Maybe I should just open this on my phone. It would be easier to navigate than the laptop.
It might be easier because then you could have like Roll20 open on one and character sheet open on the other.
So that's 9 force damage.
9 force damage. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's your bonus action.
Yeah. So I'm gonna use my actual axe. That is a 19 plus 8.
Yeah.
So yeah, okay, so 1d8 plus 5. So that's 13 damage.
13 damage.
Yeah.
Okay, so you again, like, you hit him with both of the axe swings, and the creature is now really struggling to maintain its form. You kind of see this, you can see its eyes that kind of like burn brighter, but it's almost like it's a candle that's about to burn out. Like it's like a flame with necrotic energy as it desperately kind of like screeches at you. It is Quinn's turn.
Quinn is going to move his movement to get closer.
5, 10,
and
15,
he's
20,
going to
25.
shoot. He's
Okay.
going to shoot. He's just chasing him and shooting arrows, and I'm like,
Yeah.
where are you going, bud?
Go ahead and roll 2 more attacks.
Okay, so first bow is a 15 plus 6, 21.
Yeah, that hits.
So that's 6 damage.
6
on
damage.
the first one.
Yep.
And then the second one is a 19, not a natural, dirty 19.
Yeah, that's fine. That's
or
still
dirty,
hits.
it's 16, sorry, I'm looking at the wrong one. So
Oh, right,
16
okay.
to hit.
Yeah.
And then 2 piercing that time.
2 piercing.
It's a cheeky 2.
So the arrow hits, and it kind of like staggers, and kind of like stumbles onto the ground, and then rises back up again.
He looks like a fucking porcupine at this point.
I know, right? It's just like covered in arrows up the top. But yeah, it still lives, and it's now the spectral creature's turn.
He needs to
make a save. Ooh, that's a 13. It fails.
Oh shit. 3, 8. So he takes 12 radiant damage.
12 radiant damage. So with that, the as the creature kind of like rears up and repeats itself once again in saying, "Join us!" It reaches forward and is like blocked by a wall of these chickadees that rise up to catch it. And the radiant energy of these small creatures that are flittering around start to basically cut through its arm like a buzzsaw, and start pulling at the strands and pulling it apart. the kind of glowing eyes that are left over at you are just like, no, as it just there's like a flash of this sickly green energy, and these kind of like spectral ribbons gently float down to the ground and then dissipate into nothingness.
You know those videos you see of like the schools of fish swimming around? That's what I imagine the birds are like. Like they move like in like a big wave sort of motion. Yeah. Okay. So I'm assuming he's dead?
He is well, dead again.
He is re-dead.
Re-deaded. Okay, it's now it's the zombie's turn. Let me just double check something. Okay. Yeah, so it's then going to turn around and attack Quinn now that he's within range. So it's going to move over here and make an attack. That's not going to hit. That is a 12 plus 3. Yeah, 15. That doesn't hit.
Nope.
Okay, Durabel.
What was that, sorry?
Durabel, it's your turn.
Okay, I am going to grab my... Well, I can't move my spirit. Well, I can move it with me, but it won't... I'm going to move as close as I can to the doorway.
I mean, you can move the spiritual weapon.
But it doesn't move as fast as me.
It moves 20 feet a turn.
Yeah, but I run like...
Oh, to the other doorway?
Oh, I run... Yeah.
Okay. So that's...
I'm basically going to get as close as I can, and then the spiritual weapon is just going to lumber in behind. Oh, wait, should I have rolled concentration on... Oh, I forgot to roll concentration on the spiritual weapon, on the spiritual guardians.
It doesn't matter. It's too late now. The thing's dead, so...
Yeah, I meant to do it after doing the concentration or constitution check, but my bad.
It's alright. It was on 2 hit points anyway, so you were gonna kill it. There was no doubt about that.
I'm just gonna try and remember.
Yeah, you just got to remember that you're concentrating on something. What I can do is there are markers on Roll20, so
Yeah.
I could add something like that to show that you're concentrating on something, just like a little reminder.
Yeah.
Or there's like I could put like a dot on you.
Yeah, the dot is more visible to me because. Okay, so
that's unfortunately that's as far as you can move around.
Yeah, I mean, I yeah, okay.
That takes us back round to Quinn's turn.
Who is going to swap to his sword.
Okay.
And he's gonna make some attacks.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, you ready? Yeah, you ready to party? Party's over here. First attack. 16.
16 hits.
So he takes 7 slashing damage.
Okay. Cool. The sword like cuts through. We'll say like shaves off a couple of the arrows, like cuts through them and into the creature's. Oh no, because he's facing him now. So it'll be like cleaves through its chest. It staggers back, and then stitches itself back together and rises up.
Oh man!
Refusing to die.
Hit.
What's wrong with these things? Yeah, go ahead.
Why won't you die? 15 plus 9.
Yep,
so
that hits.
Another 9 slashing damage. Sorry.
Okay. 12. 9 slashing damage. You say?
Yeah.
12 plus 3, 15. It continues to endure. It just its jaw like opens up, even like hyper extends to like horror levels of just like horror movie levels, like as Quinn is just like cutting into its body, and it seems to be ignoring the removal of body parts. And I think at this point Quinn's getting a little bit freaked out.
Yeah, if it did like the jaw hyperextending thing, he'd be like, "Oh God,
yeah,
you made it even worse."
And it's going to retaliate but it's not going to hit. It got like a 4+3. So Durabel, it's back to your turn. I assume you're going to move your full movement.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep going as fast as my little legs can carry
So you
me.
get there, and so you can from there you can see Quinn like fighting this thing and being like, "Ah, ah!" And your spiritual weapon follows alongside you.
Yeah. I'll dash to get a bit closer. I know the spiritual weapon can't go that fast.
No, it can't. That's as far as it can go. So yeah, you run in and you can see that Quinn is like desperately slashing at this creature, and it's refusing to fall down.
Yeah, he's getting really grossed out by it.
Yes, and it's now his turn again, so he can have another go.
Yeah, and he's gonna swing. 14.
14 hits.
Oh, okay, good. That is 10 slashing damage.
Okay. Oh my god. Hang on. 10. Yep. It endures.
Is he still alive?
Yep. It rolled a what's his con modifier? It rolled a 19. So yeah, it continues to stand. Try again.
21 to hit.
That hits.
12 damage.
He's really making it difficult now. I've got to get a 17. Okay, that's enough. Quinn is just like, ah, and like stabs it through the head. Like grabs the sword with both hands, and it's just like, ugh!
And just like stay fucking dead.
And that's enough. Like the eerie green lights in its eyes kind of like burst, and it falls lifeless before him. And he's just like, oh my god, why?
He's like, that was so gross.
Oh, he just kind of like slumps over onto his ass, and it's just like, what was that?
I don't know. I'm gonna look around. I'm assuming. Can we see anybody in here besides us? Like, look up and around.
Not in this room. There are to your. We'll kind of just leave this as is now. I will reveal the rest of the map just so you can kind of see everything that's going on in here. You can see through the window here. Oh. Here. There are patrons in the bar. There are several people. It's like this is a tavern. You probably would have seen outside like signage saying it's the Wayside Inn.
Right.
And yeah, it's kind of built up like a tavern, but the tables have been upended. They've been used to like barricade the door that the first zombie was trying to get into. And they're all kind of like grabbing what they can, and they were essentially barricading themselves in, preparing for an attack. And you catch the gaze of a remarkably good-looking half-elf woman, who kind of looks at you. She's holding onto like a crossbow, and she spots you, and then her expression softens ever so slightly, and she just gives you kind of like a nod of and then you see her kind of like point somewhere, and kind of you hear like a muffled barking of orders, and someone scurries off. And then not too long later, the door behind you opens, like on the leftmost wall opens.
Yeah.
And a kind of a broad-shouldered human man with like a bald head and a scarred face. He's got like a crooked smile. Steps out, and he just says, "Hey."
Hello. I'm assuming this is not a usual occurrence, or is it?
No, we don't usually expect undead attacks. I will say one thing though. One thing that was equally unexpected was someone passing by that could lend our aid. We were all getting a bit worried in there. Not really sure what was going on, but thank you. Name's Bax. How about you?
My name is Durabel, and over there is my companion Quinn.
What the fuck were these things? I cut this one like 6-7 times.
It was an undead. They do that sometimes.
Well, whatever they were, you've done a better job of dispatching them than any of us could. Come on in the bar. We'll get the place tidied up, and we'll give you some ale as thanks. And at the sound of the word ale, Quinn is immediately fine.
He's like, oh hell
He's
yeah!
just like, ale, wicked, let's go. He's like, what did he say your name was? Bax, Quinn Hightopple, at your service. I will not punch you in the bollocks as thanks. And you guys head into the bar, and you see like a few figures kind of like moving around quickly, the sound of like wood scraping on wood as they set up the tables again.
I like to imagine the spiritual guardian birds are all just perched on me.
Yeah,
and
like
Quinn, Quinn, if you walk by.
Yeah, you can keep the spell going. It probably would nearly end now, but as
it was just for the sake of its ending. Yeah,
they all just kind of like perch on you, give a little tweet, and then fade away. You walk into the bar area. You see a few figures. So there's the half elven woman that spotted you from the window. It seems like as soon as the tables are set back up, she immediately takes a position at a lone table in the corner. And basically gets back to work by the looks of things. Like there's like pieces of paper and like a pen on the table, and she's immediately like got glasses on and is looking through stuff, kind of ignoring everybody else. Sorry, say again.
It's like, yep, back to business.
Yeah, like okay, back to work now. And yeah, the guy that backs with the scars jumps behind the bar and kind of like starts, getting you a couple of mugs of ale on the go. You see a female figure disappear downstairs. You don't see her for long enough to get any details of who she is. And there is another woman who you've noticed that after the barricades have been taken off the front door, you can see that there are like wooden bars that have been nailed in. And
right.
This short and stocky looking human woman holding two massive hammers comes out from the back, approaches the door, and just immediately like rips the bar off. Just completely like bosses it, just like whoosh, slams it down on the table with her two hammers and just sits down with a drink, kind of like legs up on the table. The half elven woman just says, "Tiga," and she like begrudgingly takes her legs off the table. Hang on, I'm gonna sneeze. Bear with me. Am I? Look at the light. Oh, pardon me.
Bless you.
And emerging from one of the tables that was upended is a young halfling, like a young girl halfling, with 5 long braids at the top of her head, with like a harmonica in her top pocket, and a very kind of flamboyantly dressed human lad, and who's just like, "Oh, well, thank goodness for that," and kind of like sits down, and they essentially the place kind of like returns back to normalcy. There were a couple of like regular like people that had just stopped by, and they're like, "Right, I think that's my cue to go home. See you later." So a couple of people leave, but a few people just kind of like go back to their business. There are 2 undead corpses just like lying there.
Well, we probably would have dragged the one, because Quinn was right next to the one. We probably would have dragged that one out just because, on the way. But I think as soon as like the barricade's brought down, and then like I imagine the barricade's brought down, they open the door, and the other one just kind of slumps
Yeah.
in dead.
The woman Tiga, who dealt with that, she just basically like effortlessly catches it with one hand and then just in one motion throws it out the door, like out of both doors, and it just like lands in a pile outside.
Good enough. So that was weird.
Can you go ahead and roll a religion check for me? As you're kind of like as you're moving this this zombie outside.
Yes, I rolled an 18.
Ooh. You as you kind of like dump it on the ground outside, be like we'll deal with this. Like maybe Bax kind of says, "Oh, just chuck it outside. We'll deal with it in the morning."
The fact that everyone's being kind of a little bit nonchalant, like,
the we're used to bandits and stuff. This is like they're all shaken. Like the normal people that there are shaken. Like the young like halfling girl and the travel like the flamboyantly dressed person are just like you notice as you're dragging it outside and you dump it down, its head kind of lolls back, and you see kind of in the sunlight a brand on its forehead, which is a triangular shape, kind of in the middle of its forehead, and within that triangle is the shape of a skull. And with that religion check, you would recognize it as the symbol of the god of death, known as Murkul. Or
Murkul.
It's Miracle or Murkul. I'm not sure. I'll have to double check. I think Miracle sounds more threatening.
Miracle. I imagine she does that thing where like she dumps it and then she notices it. She like grabs the head and like pulls it up to like look at it.
But it's like, what are you doing?
This symbol on its head.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of Miracle?
No. What's a miracle?
He is the god of death.
Well, that's bullshit because those things wouldn't fucking die. Some kind of shit death god is that?
Durabel takes a moment to just be like, "Aww."
What does that mean?
What do I know about Miracle?
You don't know a lot. You know the name, you recognize the symbol, but with it being an evil god, or you assume assumedly an evil god, it's not really one that you studied in all that much detail.
No.
You just recognize you recognize the symbol and the name.
He's an evil deity. I mean, he's a god of death, but undeath is part of that as well.
Bear with me 1 second. Let me see if I can actually, seeing as I bought the Sword Coast Adventurer's Guide yesterday, maybe I can give you a bit more information on the god themselves. Let's have a look. Okay. He is known as the Lord of Bones, Old Lord Skull, or the Reaper. They are a deity of death, decay, old age, exhaustion, dusk, and autumn. The god of the ending of things and hopelessness. Yeah, it's not really a god that people pray to. It's more a god that people tend to fear. It's kind of he's taken
like
as the he represents the inevitability of death. And no matter what you do, Miracle will eventually come for you.
Well, that seems a bit odd then that these guys were undead. Because if he's all about the ending of it, wouldn't it be kind of counterpoint to him if it was the dead coming back?
Interesting.
Durabel mulls on that and just goes, well, he's dead again now. Hopefully this time for good. Pumped enough radiant damage into these fools that I would hope that they don't get up.
Well, I've cut their head off more times than I care to repeat. These things have had more stabbings than I've had hot dinners. Can we stop looking at it now, please?
Yes.
Okay.
We can go back inside now.
You guys head back inside. And Bax is there and he's just like, just in time. And he slams down 2 mugs of ale. And he goes, here, it's on me.
Thanks.
And I'll keep it coming as long as you want them. I was getting ready to say some prayers then. I was a bit hairy.
Well, fortune smiled upon you on this day. Good thing we were passing by.
Yeah, definitely. Right, well, I'm gonna get back to service. Like I say, just come along to the bar if you want anything. I'll sort you out.
Thanks, Bax.
The half elven woman comes up. She's very pretty, but she's got a face like she's got a face that could like freeze hell.
She's got resting bitch face, but like to the nth degree.
And you're not sure whether it accentuates how good she looks or kind of doesn't, but I don't know. There's like an ice queen level of beauty about her, and she just she kind of pulls her glasses off and says, well, while Bax is being very generous with my stock, far be it from me to not say thank you for your help. My name is Marticia Vinetalker. I'm the owner of this establishment.
Well, Marticia, you won't have to worry. We won't wear out our welcome.
She doesn't drink, but I do. She just looks at Quinn like, right. Well, in my way of giving thanks, you may have a meal on the Wayside Inn. 1 meal. However, I would, if you do intend to stay the night here, I would require payment for that.
What time of day is it?
So you were walking. It's probably
we're riding.
Riding. We didn't really say when you set off. It was probably kind of late afternoon. We can say it's getting towards nighttime now.
We could stay the night. Set off early in the morning. Maybe stay here in case any other spookies come along.
So 5 silver pieces a night. Bax will take care of it.
Thank you.
And with that, she puts her glasses on and goes back to her work.
Does she look like a young elf or like an older, like, because I know that like there's a certain point where like you can tell they're old, but does she look like a young?
I mean, she's a half elf, so
she's a half elf.
Yeah, so they kind of age, kind of in line with humans for the most part. So no, you'd probably say that she's like early to mid-30s.
Oh, okay.
Seems to take herself very seriously.
Somebody has to.
And Quinn kind of like takes a gulp of ale. He's just like, "Oh, this stuff's pretty good. It's better than what they've got in Phandalin."
Maybe it's because small town. Maybe it's local brewer.
Oh, maybe.
We will stay the night.
Okay. So you'll need to just, she said, to inquire with Bax if you were going to do that.
Yeah, so I will go up to Bax to let him know that we're going to be staying the night. Also, where did all my gold go?
You spent loads of it. Oh wait, no, I don't know, where did all your gold go? How much have you got?
I don't know. I've got 0 gold, 155 silver, and 450 copper pieces.
I feel like you spent loads of gold in the last session, like before you left for Ice Spire Peak.
Yeah, we did, but I don't remember spending all of it. But well, it doesn't matter now because I mean I've got money. I'm just
Yeah. No, you. I think you did. I think you probably spent more than you realized. So I remember being like, because you went to buy a climber's kit, and that used the last of your gold.
Oh yeah, I bought 2 climbers kits, and I bought potions.
And that on its own was quite expensive. And yeah, you bought like a load of healing potions. So yeah, you are not rich in gold, but you are rich in stuff.
Hey man, that climbing gear saved my ass in the end.
So as you make your way towards the bar, the halfling kind of like reaches over and gives you like a tug on your like tabard that's draped out from under your armor. It's just like excuse me.
Hello.
Hi. Yes. Were you the ones that fended off the creatures that were attacking?
We were.
Well, I just I'm sorry. I didn't mean to disturb what you were doing. I just wanted to say thank you. I'm actually traveling to Leilon, and I thought that my journey was going to be cut short, but you can well, I don't know what to say apart from and she like nervously blows into her harmonica. She says, thank you.
Well, it wasn't a problem at all. We are actually heading to Leilon tomorrow. If you would like to make the journey.
Yeah, my name is Scylla Scale Sweep.
Well, I am Durabelle, and my companion over there is Quinn High Topple.
Just looking at her like, who's that?
But we are setting off in the morning for Leilon as well.
Can I come with you?
Sure.
And her face just like beams, and she does the thing where she like blows into one side of the harmonica and like drags it across to the other. Like, woo! Excellent. Why are you? Go on.
No, I was just gonna say, I don't know if Durabelle's seen a harmonica or heard one before, so I'm just gonna say, have her be like, well, that's an unusual instrument.
Oh, it's just a keepsake from home and a hobby of mine. I'm actually more of a fisher by trade. It's the reason why I'm heading to Leilon. Actually, I'm looking to get a job. I heard that there is there's a woman called Valdi Estepar that's hiring down there. So yeah, I'm looking for a vocational shift, as it were. I'm kind of between jobs at the moment.
I'm sure they could use the help. I hear that they are in the process of rebuilding again.
Yes, fingers crossed.
That's why we are making our way down. I'm looking for someone down there.
Oh, who's that?
My brother.
What does your brother do down there?
I don't know. He helps around. I know he's helping with the rebuilding, but I'm not exactly sure what he's been doing down there. So I'm just gonna go check in on him.
Oh well, excellent. Oh, that'll be nice. A family reunion. When was the last time you saw him?
It's about a month ago. Month or so. It's been a while, actually. Now that I think about it.
Yeah, it's probably been closer to 3 months.
2 months, 2-3 months. Yeah, it's been a while. Wow. I'm sure he's doing all right though. He's pretty hardy.
Just like his sister. And at that point, Quinn kind of like hops off and comes back, and he's like, "Here, Bax, you ale?" And Bax just like, "Yeah, ale," and makes him another one.
And Belle's just like, "Hey, pay for the rooms while you're over there."
What?
Or ask him about rooms.
Oh, you pair gonna stay the night? You notice as he kind of like looks at you and looks back at Quinn, underneath his kind of plain, he's got like a plain kind of like faded red shirt on, like a linen shirt, and you can see just like a little glimmer of like a metal chain underneath the shirt.
Yeah.
And he just says, "Oh, you looking to stay the night, are you?"
Yeah, just for the night.
All right.
Do you have many rooms available?
He goes, "Well, I mean, you saved the pub," and then you just hear this curt "Bax, 10 silver pieces, please." And Quinn just looks at you like, he needs 10 silver.
I roll my eyes and I give him 10 silver.
A pleasure. I will make sure you have our finest suite. They're all the same, honestly.
I appreciate the enthusiasm.
Anything beats the underside of a ship, honestly. In my view.
A ship, eh?
Yeah, before I settled here, I fancied myself as a privateer, and then you hear the sound of footsteps coming up from below, as a tall half orc woman makes her way up with a couple of plates, and she says, "You mean pirate?" He's like, "I prefer privateer, thank you." No, I've settled down here for the most part. I'm actually looking to making my way here for a while, but I'm actually looking to perhaps open a business in, I don't know, one of the cities, maybe Neverwinter or Waterdeep. But who knows?
Well, you best at least go check them out. I've never been to either myself, but
Oh, they're brilliant. All the hustle and bustle, all the action you could ever want. Very exciting. I used to visit them quite often when we were on the seas.
I mean, it seems like you see a little bit of action here, she says regarding the zombies.
Well, that's not a common occurrence, I'll be honest with you. And as he's saying that, the half orc kind of comes over, and he says, he's like, "Ah, Kurak, got some dinner for our heroes, have you?" She kind of like brings down, there's a couple of bowls of stew, and 2 slices of pie. And
oh, amazing.
Bax just like, "Oh, pulling out all the stops for you two. She's famous for these, you know." Kurak's just like, "Shut up, Bax." You notice that like curling up from underneath her collar, what look like 2 tattoos of like dagger blades that reach up just below her cheeks.
Ooh.
She says, Marticia said that you could have these, and honestly, even if she hadn't, I would give you them as thanks. I mean, we probably could have handled the lesser creatures on their own, but that spectre thing that appeared after you turned up, I'm not so sure about that. You look like you could use getting your strength back.
Yes, very much so. It's appreciated. Would I have recognized it as sort of was it like a wraith? Based on how it was hurting me and stuff?
Make a religion check.
16.
It was a wraith indeed.
Okay.
So let me give you some information about wraiths.
Well, because I was like, we fought a wraith before, so I was trying to make that connection.
Not one of this power level.
Right. Okay.
Have you fought a wraith? But you fought a banshee before.
Oh, that's what I was thinking of. I was thinking of banshee. My bad.
So wraiths are malicious spirits. So where a banshee is an elf that's got like regrets and lingers on into undeath to kind of wallow in those regrets. A wraith is a malignant spirit that's born of a depraved and malicious individual. And basically their only concern is just death. They want to spread misery and death, and they want everything around them to wither because they're just like awful. They are like they're just malice incarnate.
Yeah, Durabel just says the zombies definitely they were a bit more resilient than expected, but a zombie's a zombie. But I believe that I believe the specter was a wraith, which are very, very bad to be around. I'm a little shocked to see one appear here, of all places. I mean, I suppose they could appear anywhere where a malicious person has died.
Well, I don't know any malicious people here, aside from Marticia. Marticia just like shoots him a death glare. Well, Kurag, the half-orc woman, is just like, well, enjoy.
Thank you.
I'm gonna go back to work.
Just nod and let her go on her way.
And as she goes past the woman, the kind of stocky woman with the two hammers, she finishes her ale and like slams it down, and like picks up her hammers and says, "Yep, back to work. I'm gonna do the same. My anvil's getting cold." And she kind of like makes her way over into the stables and around towards one of the southern doors. She kind of shoots the pair of you a look as she goes past.
What kind of look?
Kind of a roll an insight check.
I was gonna say, is it a bit of a we could have handled it sort of look? Oh, that's not gonna be very good. Insight though. 11.
11. Yeah, difficult to read. It's certainly not a friendly expression, but not a particularly malignant one either. And kind of like, as you sort of furrow your brow, you kind of like feel Bax kind of like tap your shoulder, and it's like, oh, don't mind Tiga. She's just very intense.
Oh well, I'm used to it.
Dabband with a hammer though. She's got some marvelous work in the forge. If you want to go pay her a visit, she might not seem the friendliest, but if you start talking to her about her work, you won't get her to shut up. I promise you. She's just not very good. She's just not good at small talk, you know.
I understand.
Anyway, tuck in. You don't want it to get cold.
I'm gonna start eating.
Okay. What are you gonna start with?
I'm gonna start with the soup.
Okay. It's a stew.
The stew.
So you kind of, there's a big like chunk of meat and kind of this like gravy, and you take a bite into it. And Quinn takes a mouthful at the same time, and it's good. It's really hearty. It's really thick. It kind of immediately warms your entire body. Like it's extra thick. The kind of like the unnatural coldness that you felt from the wraith's attack kind of fades, and you feel really good. And then you realize it's spicy. It's very spicy. But with your dwarven constitution, it's fine.
I was gonna say if it counts as poison, I'm resistant.
No, it doesn't. It's just it's got a very strong kick to it. But it's good. Like, it's really good.
Yeah.
You can certainly see why. Like, Bax probably wasn't lying when he said that she's famous for this, and part of the reason why people turn up would potentially be to just have a bite of it, get a load of this, sort of thing. You turn to look at Quinn. His face is bright red, and he's just like, "Yeah, it's good. It's real good."
You all right there, buddy?
I'm fine. It's so good. It's moving me to tears. He says with tears in his eyes.
Literally, I was gonna say, yeah, quite literally.
Bax has just got. He kind of like. He looks at Quinn and just lets out like a belly laugh and like slams his hand down on the bar and says, "That, you've earned yourself another drink, my friend." As he kind of like slams his hand down, you can see the chain that's kind of under his shirt kind of like falls a little bit and reveals a pendant, and he's got like a little trident shaped pendant around his neck that sort of sways as he's moving around violently and goes to make Quinn another ale.
Yeah. Is that a religious symbol of some variety, or is it just like a nautical kind of? I guess, yeah. Is it a symbol of? Because I know that isn't there a deity of the ocean?
Are you asking Bax or are you asking me?
I am asking you.
Okay, roll a religion check.
Oof. I got an 8.
8. You are unsure. It's not.
Well,
it's not a symbol. It's not a symbol that you recognize.
He keeps it tucked under his shirt, so I feel like it would be rude to ask. So I will not ask.
Okay. He does, after he puts the ale down, he just kind of like glances at it and goes, oh, tucks it away. But he doesn't seem to like, there's no sense of embarrassment or anything. He just pops it under his top. He goes, did you want another one, Durabel?
Go on then.
And he goes ahead and makes another one. At this point, the human, in the kind of like flamboyant costume,
the young lad.
Yeah, the young lad kind of like makes his way over. And he's like, "Excuse me, are you Durabel Boulderbane?"
I am.
Huh. I've heard of you.
From who?
Well, I'm a traveling entertainer, I suppose you could say. Tarbin Tull, and he kind of like holds his hand out.
Durabel kind of takes a moment and then shakes it.
I've heard of you from one of our more odious members of the Bardic College that I'm a part of. His name's Olos. He's a big fan of yours.
Is that Olos from the last game?
It is, yeah.
Olos Big Bottom. Oh yeah. Okay.
He's constantly talking about your exploits in Phandalin, and has always mentioned, like, whenever I've seen him, talked about wanting to meet you. Have you met Olos?
I can't say that I have, no, which is a bit surprising because we spent time there.
I take great pleasure in learning that I've met you first. I can lord that over him. Well, I think he's off traveling with some. He mentioned a hunter of some description. He's always been fascinated with the edgier folk who live in the shadow. I'm not sure why. I think that'll be the death of him. But enough talk about him. He's very annoying. It was just to explain myself. But thank you very much for what you've done tonight. Can I perhaps express my thanks in the way of a song?
Durabel's just like, go on then, sure.
Oh, excellent. And he kind of like makes his way to, there's like a stage area in the top right, and he says, "Oh, Scylla, with your harmonica, would you mind leading me in?" And she's like, "Oh, okay." And she starts playing a tune, and Tarbin starts to sing. I am not going to sing. I haven't got anything prepared, and I'm terrible at it. But he begins to sing. He starts off singing about the tale of the Dragon of Icespire Peak, and I think he notices as he starts doing that, he notices that that's making you a bit awkward. Like I can imagine that would make you feel a bit strange.
A little bit, yeah. But I mean, she's not gonna stop him,
no,
because
but
it's his trade. Yeah.
He senses that, and Quinn's like, "Sing about Quinn Topple." I feel like I'm gonna have dragon breath myself in a minute. No, I'm fine. No, I'm fine, Bax. It's really good. I've had a supernatural experience. And
Supernatural.
Tarbin like shifts to a different song that he knows about two wolves fighting under a blood moon. I'm laying it on thick with these references.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's a pretty good ref right there.
And it's kind of a darker tune, but he tries to bring some pace and some like energy into it. And a few of the tavern goers, just like the regular folk, like farmers and fishermen and stuff like that, are in their relief. And now that they've had like a few more drinks, some of them get up and start dancing. And the kind of the energy of the place really kind of begins to rise, and is all positive and nice.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that you would like to do? Anything you'd like to investigate?
I'd like to eat this pie.
The pie is just as good as the stew.
Hell yeah. I'm going to enjoy this second ale a little bit more slowly. I'm going to kind of listen to the music, but I'm going to kind of keep my eyes out for... I just kind of want to be aware of anything going on, just because I feel like that was a sort of too random of a thing to happen. So I just kind of want to be on alert while I'm enjoying the ale.
Make a perception check for me, and we'll kind of make that the check for the evening. You being vigilant.
Oh well, I did shit. So 7.
7. The night passes. You very rarely have a second ale.
Yeah.
And as you kind of as you're like slowly sipping away at it, you find you start by like trying to be vigilant, looking around and stuff, but your gaze kind of drifts out the window.
Yeah.
And your mind, as you're looking outside, your mind begins to wander, and you start to think about Brathos. And particularly your mind is fixated on how he used to be. Like, he was always strict as an uncle. You always thought he was a bit of an asshole.
He was an intense person, a bit of a dick as well.
But he was a nice guy. Like, there was
once upon a time.
Yeah, there was no until you started to uncover what you knew just by chance. Yeah, there was, he was your family, and as much as he was, was kind of that strict uncle, you really got the feeling that he loved you like family does. And there's a part of you that misses that. There's a part of you that misses everyone.
I miss my fam.
You sort of...
I mean, I haven't seen my family in half a year.
A long time. It's been a very long time at this
point.
Longer
than that. Yeah.
You sort of you hear the music. The music sort of kind of fades out into sort of a there was a Tumblr post that we saw ages ago that was like a certain... It was It's Raining Somewhere Else from Undertale.
Oh, but playing from another room.
Yeah, but from really far away. It kind of like shifts into that, and you sort of glance around, and in this trance, you sort of the people in the tavern are replaced. Like, Duradan is sat next to you. Quinn is still there, and you see members of your family. You see your dad, just kind of quietly drinking away. Grigor is sat where Marticia is, just on his own, as he always did. And yeah, there's just this strange moment of you miss the past.
I miss my family. I miss the family feeling, and
despite everything.
Yeah.
I guess that the kind of dwarven blood in you that cares about tradition and cares about that close-knit family unit.
We grew up that way.
Yeah, and it was an entire community, and every single member of that community was your family. But then, as soon as it comes, you reach the bottom of your mug, and you kind of drift out of it. and maybe a bite of the pie and the spice of that just kind of like kicks you out of it. And Quinn, still red faced, tear marks down his eyes, just like, "You all right?"
Yeah. How about you?
I could really do with some milk. Or is ale good for spice? Not that it's a problem. It's just a bit hot, you know.
No, you're right. Milk would be.
It builds. It like builds on you.
Yeah, it does, especially when you eat all of it in one go instead of pacing yourself.
Oh dear. Bax like he kind of like winks in your direction and goes, "I can sort you out with some milk." And he
did
does
good
so.
to last this long.
For entertaining me, I'll sort you out with the milk. And yeah, is there anything more that you would like to do?
No, just because it's getting into the evening, and even though she seems like the kind of person who would be up late, I think I will leave talking to the blacksmith in the morning. Just
Okay.
Kind of,
all right.
Yeah.
So you make your way to bed. And yeah, things you kind of spend the rest of the night drinking and getting to know people and having a good time. And well, I mean, you're kind of quietly having a good time. Quinn starts dancing. And you can tell
I'm sure he starts telling more tales of the bard.
He
as
is,
well.
and he's very much. You can tell, and you sort of roll your eyes. As you can tell, he's desperately trying to get Scylla's attention when he's dancing. Like he's dancing near her, being very loud in her direction.
Trying to woo her. Yeah.
He hasn't seen another halfling in ages. The closest he got was gnomes.
Yeah. I kind of give a little laugh at that, but I don't disturb him. I let him do his thing.
So you carry on, and then the night comes. You go to bed, and the morning arrives, and so the morning air is filled with the smell of breakfast, and the sound of a burning forge and hammer hitting metal.
And the sound of a motorcycle, apparently.
Apparently, yeah.
Okay, yeah, get up and make my way downstairs.
Okay. You make your way downstairs, and Kurog is laying the table for everyone that was staying the night. There's maybe like 6 or 7 people here, including the people that you've already met.
Yeah.
And she just kind of looks at you and says, "Oh, morning."
Morning.
And Bax has got bags under his eyes. He's tired. But he looks at you and he smiles with kind of like his crooked, toothy grin. He's like, "Morning."
Sleep well or not at all?
I maybe went to bed a bit later than I normally do, but it was a good night. Do you want some breakfast?
Yes, that would be great.
Excellent. Don't worry about it. And then he's cut off by the sound of Bax as Martisha makes her way downstairs. Just like, right. How much is it for breakfast? I gotta check this. Food and lodging. I think it's 3 silver, but
I think so as well. That sounds about right.
Food, drink, and lodging. Yeah, we'll say 3 silver pieces for a kind of a decent breakfast.
And I'm gonna make Quinn pay for himself when he gets up.
He does. He's just like, oh, because he's hungover. He's just like, fine. Not that it'll do me much good. I don't think I'm going to be able to taste anything.
You'll be fine.
Pirog's just like, she kind of like glances over at Scylla and is just like, this mighty and noble dragon slayer defeated by a pie. She giggles, and you sit down to breakfast. And so what would you like to do?
I'd like to go and see the forge.
Okay, so it's not a lot to look at. There's the sound of like metal on metal gets louder as you enter in, and it's very hot in here already. The fires of the forge are burning, and yeah. So Tiga, the like kind of like muscle bound, stocky human woman, she's her forge is in the shape of a dolphin, and she is just going to town on a piece of metal. She's got both of her hammers in her hands, and she's just like bang, 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 going absolutely nuts. And she just kind of looks up at you, says, "You right? What do you want?"
We were about to head out, and I was just curious about your wares.
She kind of takes a moment. She huffs a little bit, but there's like a glimmer of something in her eye as she stops hammering, sets the hammers down. What were you gonna say?
Durabel was just gonna say, if I can wait if you need to finish something.
No, it's fine. And she says, thanks for last night.
It's not a problem. Don't worry about it.
I'm Tiga. Bax keeps telling me that I need to be more personable. Really, I just prefer to stay in here and work.
I understand the sentiment. I have heard those words before, she says as she glances in Quinn's direction if he's there.
Quinn's there. He's just kind of... Quinn is currently entranced by 3 sets of armor. Like, full sets of plate armor that have been, like, that align the walls.
Yeah.
So he's like, all right. And he's kind of, like, looking them over. And Tiga, like, notices this, and the kind of awkward expression on her face grows into a smile, like a smile of pride.
Yeah.
She says, "Are you interested in smithing, in metalwork? Actually, this is my job, but I'm as a hobby, I like to make jewelry."
Jewelry.
She nods.
It's a bit more, do you have any?
It's a bit more delicate, which I find difficult, but it's a challenge that I enjoy.
Would it be too much to ask if you have any to show?
Yeah. She kind of like rummages around and she pulls out. They're not, because they're made of metal. They're not. They haven't got like jewels or anything in them. They're just simple things that I'm playing with at the moment. But I've got like this one here, and it's like an earring, and you can see it's got like a little metal lightning bolt on it.
Yeah.
Which is I like this one. This is probably one of my favorites. Like I say, they're a bit delicate, so I tend to break them. And then she's got like, and they're kind of like various simple shapes. The lightning bolt is probably the most complicated shape of the lot.
Yeah.
Various different metals. She's I don't get much more than kind of cheap metals to play with here. I'm not really confident enough to start experimenting with buying silver and gold yet to fiddle around with, but I think it's a start at least. I'm more right now. I'm more proud of my smithing work, and she kind of like gestures over to the suits of armor, and Quinn is just like, yeah, these are fucking amazing.
Quinn's just drooling.
Yeah, they're a bit big though. Yeah, so you turn around and you look at these suits of armor, and yeah, it's really good craftsmanship.
And they're iron, right? Like
it's like full plate armor.
Yeah. Well, I just meant material wise, like I'm assuming it's iron.
Oh yeah, it would be,
yeah. Yeah. Well, I think iron is while it might not be what is considered fancy, I appreciate a good set of iron, whether it be armor or jewelry, she says, because the braids in her hair are all held by like these really simple iron they're basically just iron donuts that she has in her hair that hold the braids together.
She just kind of chuckles a bit and says, "Spoken like a true dwarf." No, I think I like you. She kind of like raises her hand up in like a yeah gesture.
Yeah.
You notice, and you would notice this immediately on the suits of armor and on her braces that she's wearing. The lightning bolt motif that she made the little piece of jewelry out of, it's on her braces, and it's also quite prominent on the suits of armor. They're kind of around the kind of neck piece, and they appear quite a lot, like various like different lightning bolt shapes.
I'm just gonna point it out and just be like, is this a design signature of yours, or is this related to? Wouldn't be Moradin. Who's the symbol? I mean, it wouldn't be. I don't imagine it'd be Talos either, because that's 3 lightning bolts. I'm trying to think of the deity of. No, I'll leave it. I'll just say, is this? I'll just ask her if that's a design, like a signature.
She just says,
choice.
"Yeah, I just, I don't know. I find myself, when it's stormy out, and you just can't help but listen and watch. I enjoy it. So I took the lightning and I put it on my stuff that I make. I don't know. It's just something fun. I suppose you could say it's a bit of a. I'm changing voices left, right, and center. It's a bit of a signature. Yeah, I suppose you could say that.
It's very well done. I unfortunately do not have much in my coffers, but do you have any earrings or even rings of iron? Just something simple. I'd be happy to pick up.
I can check if I've got. I mean, I could, if you're willing to stay for a while, I could make you something.
We're on our way to Leilon at the moment. Otherwise, I could pick it up on our way back to Phandalin.
Okay, well, I could make you a ring with a design on it, like a signet ring. If you wanted something like that, that would be 5 gold pieces. So just for the materials.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not after anything too crazy, but it would be nice to have a little something at the very least.
What would you like on it? And I can. You've helped to save. You saved this place from those things outside, and you've clearly got an eye for these things. So I can let's say 4 gold.
So it's 4. Is that 40 silver then?
40 silver, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll take out 40 silver to give her, and I'll just be like, we're gonna be heading out shortly to Leilon, but we will.
What would you like the design to be?
I am going to pull out the symbol of Moradin, and just be like,
is that the anvil?
It's the Moradin symbol, I believe, is like a hammer. Let me check.
It is a hammer and an anvil. We were both right. Yeah, it's the anvil. Well, it can be the anvil with the flame on top, or the hammer. Yeah. But yeah, if you just say the symbol of Moradin, and kind of explain what it is, and she kind of nods and says, "Okay, I'll keep it simple." And yeah, I'll make that my next project. If you swing by in the next few days, when you've do you say you were heading to Leilon?
Yeah.
When you're done in Leilon, swing by the Wayside, and I'll have it done for you.
I look forward to it.
All right. Take care. Until then.
Yeah, pleasure doing business. At Quinn, if Quinn is going to make any purchases with his own money.
Hey, what? Oh, no, I'm all right. I don't do any of that god stuff. Can you make one of these? And he like holds out the dragon slayer, and she just kind of like blinks and looks at it and went, "Where did you get that?" Some grave.
I put my
She looks at
face in
you.
my hand. I explained to her that we borrowed it in our endeavor to kill the white dragon.
Okay, it's a very incredible looking weapon. The answer is no. I could make something that potentially looks like it, but it wouldn't be the same. It's like, oh, well, never mind then. Are we going or what?
I roll my eyes and I thank her and I let her get back to her business.
Okay. And with that, you say your goodbyes.
Yeah, because what's her face is coming with.
Yeah. So you meet up with Scylla, who's going to travel to Leilon with you in the hopes of getting a job.
And, and we're gonna warn her about the horse before we call Lily.
Okay. She still screams when she sees it, and that spooks Lily a little bit, but it's okay. And then she kind of takes a moment. It's like, okay. Oh, it's friendly. Oh.
Oh, it's cute. Oh.
And then as you're leaving, kind of like backs, pokes his head at the door and says, "You on your way now?"
Yep.
Right. Well, you look after yourselves.
We'll be back soon enough.
Excellent. Yeah. Don't be a stranger.
Back before you miss.
I don't know how much more ale I can give you for free before Marticia puts me out on my arse. But
Nah.
I'll see if I can sneak you one next time.
I'm sure Quinn is pleased about that.
Oh yeah, he's like, hell yeah, this guy's great.
I thank him, and then we will make our way.
And are you all going to get on Lily and ride down?
Well, I'm imagining because it's two halflings, they're small enough that all of us could get on.
Just
Lily.
about. It'll slow it down a little bit. The combined weight is probably about 2 humans worth.
Yeah.
Two heavier set humans, so they'll be fine. And Lily's got undead fortitude, so it slows her down slightly, but not massively.
Well, even if Lily gets a bit uncomfortable, Durabel will just hop down and walk alongside her for a bit.
So you guys do that, and you make your way down the path towards Leilon. And I think that's where we will end for tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah. So with that, all that's left to say really is thank you all very much for joining us today. Is there anything that you would like to say, Emily? Did you have fun?
I had fun, and it was fun playing Durabel again.
Yeah.
I look forward to playing her some more.
Did you see what I mean about it being a bit more chilled out and just kind of hanging out?
Which I'm glad for, because I was sort of.
It's so hot.
It's sort of been a weird day as well, in the fact that it's hot. So it's like I'm glad it was just like kind of hanging out. Nice.
You killed some undead.
There was a little bit of action, yeah.
Yeah, you killed some undead. You made some friends. You had pie. It was great.
Yeah.
So yeah, thank you all very much for joining us. If you're joining us live on Twitch, I appreciate you, and see you again. The next installment of Stormlord's Wrath. I almost said Dragon of Ice by a Peak, but it's not that anymore. Will be streaming on Tuesday night, and if you are watching us on YouTube, thank you very much. Please subscribe if you would like to see more. Again, like fellows on Twitch, feel free to follow to support the channel. It's we're still fledgling. We've been going for a while, and yeah, any support or anything that you can do to help is always appreciated. And trust me, things will ramp up next week. So yeah, thank you again. You can catch us on Twitter. Emily, apart from the artwork that came with the adventure, Emily's done all the artwork for the tokens, for the characters. So go and check out her artwork over on her Twitter. Come to my Twitter to see me tweet about her artwork and how good of an artist she is. Basically,
because he doesn't know how to tweet about anything else.
Just praise my wife at every single possible opportunity. And yeah, I hope that you will continue to join us. Thank you ever so much, and we will see you again.
Bye.
Bye-bye.